Hey everybody, Tim here at Rat Daddy Studios, and I'm out in the garage. I'm with the '67 Corvette Disaster, which didn't start out that way, but pretty much ended that way. It's done. I mean, but I had huge problems, and my fault. I screwed up and did some stuff that led to the disaster. So just very quickly, I'll tell you what I did. Um, I had Friday night shot a layer of clear with flake on it and got all the flake on there. And then I did two more regular coats of clear after that, which was fine. And generally, what happens is as that gas is out, the flake's going to kind of stand up a little bit. So it's got some texture to it. So I knew I was going to need some more clear. So Saturday, I had done one round of clear on it, and it looked really good. It was smooth and looked like everything had laid down pretty well. And I had a few thin areas on it. So I let it sit for about a half hour to set up, and I decided to shoot another coat of clear on it. And when your instincts are telling you it looks fine, don't do it, go with your first instinct, leave it alone. And I didn't. And the following disaster after that just continued to get worse and worse and worse as I went on. So what happened is I no idea why I did it. I just wasn't thinking, and I still had a little bit of clear left in my jar. And with these urethanes, it's a catalyst, so generally what happens is the stuff starts to catalyze in 20 to 30 minutes. It starts to thicken and set up and harden, and there was a little bit of that left in my bottle, and I dumped the new clear and the new catalyst and the new reducer in there with it, not thinking, and started to spray and got the whole top area done fine and started on the sides, and it just started throwing huge spatters of paint all over it out of the airbrush. I was also using my Pache H airbrush, which is a single action with a number 5 tip, which generally does just fine on stuff like that. And it just continued to get worse. I couldn't get it. I was adjusting my air, I was adjusting the gun, and not looking at the paint jar, which what was happening is that catalyzed paint was just globbing up inside of there and just ruined 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 everything. I was just so pissed. And so yesterday, or actually today, or actually yesterday afternoon, my buddy Joey Enyart had come down. He wanted me to clear a few pieces for him, and I was really hesitant to do it after having such a nightmare. And he had his big hydroplane model that he wanted me to do, and then he had an ambulance body he was using for a slot car. So we did the slot car first, and was having the same problems and could not figure out. I knew I was mixing everything right, but everything was fresh, air pressure was good. And I had noticed when I was mixing my clear that it wasn't perfectly clear after I added the catalyst and stuff. It had kind of gotten milky. And so I decided to dump that clear. I just bought some new catalyst and redid the clear, cleaned everything out, redid the clear, remixed it, and it was perfectly clear. So I think what had happened, I think the catalyst was actually going bad. I've never run into that before. Of course, I usually use it so quickly, but I had not run into that before. But I think the catalyst had gone bad and was actually becoming part of the problem, because I know my mix was right. But anyway, so this morning I got up early, temperatures are really good, and got out here in the shop and did a couple more rounds of clear on the Corvette body, this time using my Pache touch-up gun, and it went on perfectly. And actually did the hydroplane that I did after the other body yesterday afternoon, did same setup and using that touch-up gun, absolutely smooth as glass. So yeah, I was upset that the Corvette's not like I wanted it to, and I kind of show you here. So here it is, and I mean, it doesn't look bad, but if you look closely, to me, there's some orange peel in there, and I'm gonna let it gas out. I mean, this has got 2 coats of clear. The other thing I noticed, which I haven't run into before either, is this was just pure silver with the clear over it, and it's got kind of a pink shade to it. And I don't know if that's just because of such a buildup of clear on this, because at this point this thing's probably got at least 10 coats of clear on it. I don't know if it's being caused from that, just too much clear, or if that's also part of the problems I was having with that earlier clear that I laid down on there the first few rounds. So I mean, it's still pretty, I guess. I mean, I think I'm picky, because the orange peel thing just drives me crazy. I want it glass smooth, and it's not, but it's still a nice piece, I guess. I mean, my only other option would be to buy another kit and start all over, and I'm not gonna do that. I've had enough at this point. So I mean, I'm happy with the paint scheme and how it came out, but disappointed in my overall results. But anyway, we will finish assembling it and move on to the next thing, because that's about all you can do when, you know, shit like this happens. I mean, it just, in all the years I painted, and my friends that paint, you know, using the same kind of stuff, you know, we still have mishaps once in a while, or something happens. You know, there's not always an explanation. Sometimes it can be temperature, and when you're dealing with with catalysts, you know, they like a particular temperature areas, and you get too cool or too hot, they don't react the same. I mean, it could have been any number of things, but what happened on Saturday was totally my fault, you know. And just I've been shooting this stuff over 30 years, and why in the hell I did that, I have no idea. But I did it, and I'll have to live with the results. I have been doing some assembly work on the 1/16 scale, the supercharger, the MPC supercharger, which is a 72 charger, I believe, that I'm going to have towing that big 3D printed boat. And that's coming along okay, but it's a typical MPC kit. You know, nothing fits, and it's made out of that soft black styrene, you know, so it's a little finicky to work with. And of course, you know, MPC was just big on those steering front ends, and, you know, every little detail and all of that, and a little bit of a nightmare. I mean, I got it together. I took my time, because I knew I've done a bunch of those when I was younger, and I knew it was going to be a headache, but it's okay. Everything went together. Got it all together. I'm putting the tires and rims and stuff together now, and at least get the chassis set up, and still haven't figured out the paint scheme on the body, but I got the chassis all painted and everything, and as soon as I figure out the body color, I'll go ahead and assemble the engine, and you know, do the block, probably body color, and then start getting the body prepped. Body's actually pretty good. When I got it, the front pillars for the windshield were actually, the roof had gotten crushed down in the box and bent those front pillars. Didn't break them off completely, but really seriously stressed them, bent them both down. I mean, literally almost to the hood line. I was able to manipulate that back up. I kept working with them, warming it up, and working with them, and I got them pretty straight. So we'll see how they do. And I think they're going to be okay. Worst case scenario, I'll have to buy one of the Richard Petty chargers of that scale, one of the reissues, and redo it if I have to. Hopefully I don't have to do that, but the seller did refund me enough money that would actually cover the cost of that if I do have to do that. So so that's kind of moving along too. So anyway, so I will keep you posted. I'm gonna let this probably sit for a few days, and you know, gas out completely and let that body cure where it's all good, and then we'll start assembling this on the chassis. But in the meantime, I hope everybody's building. I'm over 700 subscribers. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's great having all you guys here, and I try to watch as many of your videos as I can. So I usually, lunchtime during work, I'll run through 2 or 3 of them, and enjoy watching you guys build. And hope you hang around. And again, I still have some shop cards. If anybody wants a shop card, email me at ratdaddystudios with an S on the end at gmail.com. I'll be glad to send you one out. And that's about it for now. So stay tuned, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, keep building. Thanks for tuning in.